Have you ever wondered if there was something you could change to improve your chances of getting better at the Elder Scrolls Online PvP? Well, it turns out you're in luck, because I have 3 mindset changes that I keep close to heart as a longtime veteran player in ESO PVP. This video is a direct continuation of the short series I've already made on how I cover analyzing and crafting different PvP builds, and I explain which certain playstyles might be right for you. The links to those videos are found down below in the description. I highly suggest you check them out if you're looking to learn more about how PvP in the Elder Scrolls Online works. First and foremost, let's hop straight into the topic that comes around every single patch: the meta. The meta stands for most effective tactics available, and often it's one setup or one variation of a setup that numerically or situationally performs above average opposed to any of the competing options. An example of a meta setup would be something like we've experienced in the past. Many players running something like Mara's Balm or Dragon's Appetite, paired with a Vatrashan's Staff and Master's Dual Wield, also accompanied by the Marsalok monster set, and usually Sea Serpent's Coil as the mythic. Now, a sole truth about a PvP meta is something that bleeds through multiple genres of games. Coming from somebody that's played a lot of ESO and a higher level of competitive FPS such as Overwatch or Counter-Strike, the meta is usually just a simple guiding point. A meta setup isn't going to matter in your gameplay if you're not theoretically practiced enough to abuse that meta. Now, that statement alone isn't meant to be flaming anyone. I'm not trying to suggest that if you're not the best player in the world, that a meta setup isn't going to help you. But my point being that the meta is mostly played by players who have the highest level of skill, where these most effective tactics will complement their gameplay to a point where it would make a shining difference among other setups. So to speak, if you put your average casual player in a meta setup, and you mix them into a duel with a veteran player who spends a lot of time practicing PvP in that very same setup, 1-to-1 on everything, the veteran player is going to win almost every single time without fail. Now, why would that be, you ask? They're wearing the same exact gear. It could be the same exact class, same exact skills slotted on the bars. Why does that one player win every single time? The answer is simply that that one player has practiced more. They might have better reaction times, they might have better knowledge of the game or of PvP, and that knowledge is going to help them make crucial decisions that ensure they win a fight even on a level playing field. Now, you're probably wondering, but Lost, if you're telling me I shouldn't run meta all the time, what should I run? And the answer isn't as simple as you think. Only you can truly answer that question, and this is the part of PvP that can become frustrating to many players. There is a huge process of trial and error. You will have to try and build a character in the format of which you want to play and what you feel comfortable on. Myself, like many other content creators, will post a build to our channels, and anything I personally post as a build is something that I've ran in game, and it works for me in the way that I like to play. This does not mean every single build I post or anyone else posts will work the same way for you, as we may play the game in fundamentally different ways than you do. Now, when I say trial and error, I spent a good amount of time switching sets, switching skills, CP, Mundus stones, tweaking little details in my build to what might fit me more as a player than maybe what most optimal on paper. This isn't an overnight process, and embarking on this sort of a journey as to figure out how you want to play the game and how you like to play the game is something that will take time and effort. Every single player that you consider good has started from the bottom. Some, such as myself, weren't always PvP players either. It takes time, it's going to take you some effort, but I do assure you that you can reach your goals in PvP with that short understanding of meta or no meta. The next huge topic we need to cover is your mindset itself. When you're going to PvP in any game, you're going to die. And you're going to die a lot. Every single player in ESO PVP dies. It doesn't matter if it's your favorite streamer, or your favorite YouTuber, or that one invincible tank guy you saw in Cyrodiil once. Every single player in ESO PVP is going to die at some point. Now, don't be discouraged by that failure. In the process of getting good, you're going to stumble around a lot. You're going to try a lot of things that just aren't going to work at first. When you're going into a PvP world such as Cyrodiil, the Imperial City, or Battlegrounds, keep in mind that every single player there, and I mean every single player, regardless of the skill level they're at now, were once stomped on by somebody else. And that somebody else was stomped on by someone else before them. You might not learn something from every death. You might not see every mistake or every missed opportunity as it happens. But over time you may begin to realize things such as, hey, I would have survived this combo if I blocked. I saw it coming this time. Or, hey, I might not die to this bomber if I stay a distance away from the large group that he's targeting. Just a simple change in thinking and how you look at your situation may be a very beneficial insight as to what you can do to improve your gameplay and grow as a player. Sometimes, all it needs is just to look within, and you can grow. Next up, we gotta talk about cheating. You probably hear this word a lot, maybe you've even said it. Is there cheating in ESO? Well, the real answer is no, not really. The Elder Scrolls Online used to, and I mean a long time ago, suffer from a cheating problem. This led the developers at ZOS to change the game to be server-sided. A server-sided game means that all the code needs to be processed through the server, and that any code that doesn't match its appropriate values is essentially going to be nullified and not used. Now, the general call for cheating in ESO is often on the age-old, "This person killed me with 4 abilities in 1 second. That's cheating!" As a quick dismissal to this comment, this is not cheating. This is what's known as delayed burst. Delayed burst is when you cast abilities that either have a cast time or projectile travel time, and you line up those abilities to hit in the sync of a burst damage skill or ultimate, or perhaps even both. A small example of a delayed burst combo would be something like casting proximity detonation from the assault skill line, and then casting a burst ultimate like Soul Tether from the Nightblade class on the second that proximity detonation skill is about to provide its explosion. This ensures that both skills are going to hit at once, and it can give the opposing player the illusion that they were hit by 2 button presses at once. The more common form of what widely may be considered cheating is called using exploits. Exploits are an unintentional game feature or design that may be a result of a bug, a missed interaction between an item set, skill, or anything in between, or PTS additions that go unreported until they reach the live server. Now let's be clear, exploiting can be done unintentionally at times. You may discover it. You might be a victim of an unintentional bug that might disrupt gameplay. For an old example, there used to be a bug that let you die with the Chaos Ball in the Battlegrounds, and you could be brought right into your team spawn. Now, I want to clear this up. If you're unintentionally a victim, or you're exposed to an exploit, that you shouldn't be worried about being banned for cheating. Now, if you do learn about an exploit and you purposely repeat it, and you abuse it, for whatever game, whether that's match wins, PvP kills, farming those salty whispers, so on and so forth, ZOS is going to find that behavior intentional instead of accidental, and you will face a real risk of being banned. So with this in mind, these 3 pieces of information are absolutely crucial to your development as a better PvP player. And in my opinion, the most advantageous way to get better at the game is just to admit that you mentally and physically need to start from the bottom and work your way up to the top. You're going to be beat a lot, and you're going to need to learn from it. Nobody in ESO is truly cheating, but you may run into the occasional exploiter. You're going to have to learn what the meta is and how it interacts with your gameplay and how you want to play PvP. With these things in mind, I want to thank you for watching this video. It means the world to me if you'd leave a like, drop a comment below, tell me what you think of the video. If you have any questions or things that I should add, I'll try to respond as soon as I'm able. If you're new here or returning, it'd help the channel a lot if you dropped a subscribe. As always, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, a great night. I'll catch you next time.